unbelievable. But then again, it is what it is. It's the sign of the times, and my guests today, both in their 20s, mid-20s at that, this is what it's come to. Social media. If you are on social media, and if you are not, this is the show for you. We're going to explain what it's like to be on social media, how you can get on, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you name it. We'll talk about it, because these kids, and I call them kids very affectionately, they own the space, literally. I thought I had the most numbers in this country, other than the president, until last weekend. I looked in the rear view mirror, and all I saw was dust. My first guest today calls him, his real name is Arthur Mandela, believe it or not. On Twitter, he's Xtian Dela. 583,000 followers on Twitter, another 120,000 on Facebook, thousands more on Instagram. Unbelievable numbers, but this is his story. He's been voted most influential Twitter personality on the continent twice in a row, 2014, 2015. Voted top 3 most influential online. This kid is on the internet all his life. That's how he makes a living. Listen up. On the far end, the history of the internet. Walking, talking encyclopedia of the internet. He gives talks, he gives strategy, he gives all kinds of talks about what it's like, who should get on, how you can market, how you can gain and be up on it when it comes to the internet. He runs a company called Nendo. It's a strategic and storytelling digital network. Get in touch with him. His name is Mark Kaigwa, 27 years old. Xtian Dela is 25. Both of them, between their 2 ages, they just beat me by like 2. Gentlemen, good to see you, man.
It's a pleasure.
Good to be here, Jeff.
Mark,
good to be here.
Fantastic. We were together a couple of days ago.
Yes, right.
And I had a really good time, and I figured, you know, on that platform, great, it was fantastic. It's on YouTube already. But let's tell a different audience.
Yes.
People, especially Mark, who are afraid, because I was afraid and you were afraid to get on Twitter initially, because it's a scary thing, you know, a brave new world. Mark, when did Twitter first begin? When did Facebook first begin? How did Kenyans jump on and ride this bandwagon?
Well, Jeff, if you're looking at Kenya and our story when it comes to the internet as far as a nation, really the most pivotal years could be said to be from 2010 onwards. 2010 was a significant year. 2009 was one where, at least just historically, this same television network actually aired what at that time was the first live...
You can mention it.
Yes,
KTN.
Okay, yes. They aired what was at that time the first full-length social media interviews live on across screens all over the nation.
And the anchor was what's his name?
Larry Mado, that's right, that's right. And it included myself and a gentleman called Kenyan. And we just talked about the internet and where it was going. And even that time, we were actually so fortunate as to organize a Twitter conference in December called the 140 Character Conference.
2010?
2009. 2009. And so 40 people showed up, and we talked about just where the internet was going at the time, and many of the names and faces you see now certainly were actually active way back then. But it picked up after 2010, and certainly we've never looked back since 2012, 2013, and well, right now we're living and watching history as it unfolds.
Literally. Excellent.
Sure.
You got onto Twitter 2.5, 3 years ago.
2.5 years ago. Yes.
What were your numbers like in the beginning?
One thing a lot of people don't know about me, how I started on Twitter. You know, Twitter is not like Facebook, and Mark can tell you that. On Twitter, you can change your username. It doesn't matter how many numbers you have. Like, I can go right now and change Xtian Dela to Koinange Jeff, and it becomes your Twitter account, and delete all the tweets there.
No.
Yes, you can. And so I started on Facebook. I've been online for 8 years. 8 years online. I started off on Facebook. So I had funny pages on Facebook, inspirational pages on Facebook, pages that currently have hit over 1 million likes, 2 million. So what I did, I was going on Facebook, say this is our page, a Twitter page. Please go follow it. Guys come, follow it, and then I change the username, delete all the tweets, go to another page, I grow it. So by the time I was actively joining Twitter, I had around 40, 50, 60,000 people just waiting for me to do something.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, speaking of Twitter, I didn't give our hashtag today. You had a hashtag going on for the last 11 hours.
Yes, it's a hashtag Xtian Dela on JKL.
Xtian Dela on JKL.
Yes.
Let's see a trend.
Definitely.
But why you? How come you're able? Because I can do a show. I can do a phenomenal show. It won't trend. I'll get like 3 tweets. Right? You talk about nothing.
It's not nothing. It's content. Just let me tell you, I plan my content very, very carefully. I don't just tweet for the sake of tweeting. I sleep 4 hours each and every day. I plan my content. I research. I literally live online. It's my lifestyle. It's my life. I quit my job because of this, because of social media. I research and I go the whole 9 years on this.
Every day.
Each and every day. I must see what Nigerians are doing. I must see what Indians are doing. Like Indians are trending right now. Selfie with my daughter, started by the Prime Minister of India, because they want to actually fight the gender imbalance in India. So I know what's going there, and I must see what's going on. So the reason as to why I trend, I subscribe to a school of thought by one great man known as Zig Ziglar. He said, you can have whatever you want in life as long as you help enough others gain what they want. So on social media, when I got in, there was a lot of segmentation. Mark Kaigo can tell you this. There were the bigwigs, the class A's, the Twitter A's, and the Twitter Z's. So when I came in, I was very confused. Where do I lie? Where do I go? This is my thing.
Yes.
And I saw, okay, there's a very big gap. A lot of people are joining social media each and every day. I join social media today, I don't know who to follow. It becomes boring, I log out, I go. But I noticed there's a gap, and I stood in the gap. I said, you come to me, I have the numbers. Let me help you gain followers. And I started something known as the follow train, Xtian Dela follow train. This is a hashtag. So when you go to that hashtag, the rules are simple. Tweet on their hashtag. If anyone sees you tweeting on their hashtag, they are going to follow you, and you must follow them back. And you gain followers. Look at it like this. Jeff Koinange, you've joined Twitter today. You don't know anyone, you don't have any followers, and you hear this Xtian Dela guy who will help you gain followers. So you come to me, I start a hashtag, you go there, you gain 500 Twitter followers, hot Twitter followers who are Kenyans. Real followers. In a week, a month or 2, you'll have 5,000 followers. So you'll always be faithful to me, and you'll love me because I've helped you gain followers. And I love you because when I tweet something, you'll retweet it.
Yes.
If I start a hashtag, you'll start it.
And vice versa.
And that's what people don't get. We need to help each other grow.
Mark, what are the A to Z's of Twitter? You explained that wonderfully the other day. Go ahead.
So the A to Z of Kenyan Twitter is an entire digital alphabet. So there's a lot of people, Jeff, who are watching right now, and they say, look, Mark, I've had a smartphone for over 10 years. I've had access to the internet. I still have my Yahoo email address, Hotmail, Outlook, Gmail. I've been somebody who's familiar with how the internet works. I use search engines. But this social media thing, Mark, I don't know where to start. And so for us, we tried to work backwards in the same way perhaps that found Xtian some years ago. We tried to write a guide that's essentially saying this is the on-ramp for people to get onto Twitter in particular, but social media and Kenyan social media. Michael Joseph is now, I guess, famous for calling us peculiar, saying that our habits and the things about us, the way we approach, at that time he was talking about calling, but Sunny Binder has gone on to use it to describe us as a nation.
Yes.
And in this same way, we said, what are the peculiarities of us when it comes to the characters we use, the colloquialisms, the language, that nobody will bother to sit back and explain. So in that same way, we took A to Z.
What's A?
All right, A is for aromat, for example, and the condiment at last year was used quite a bit to show transitions in people from societally to economically. B is for bigwig. Bigwig is the term, but you need to find out how to describe how people approach social media, and perhaps, you know, some people might label him a bigwig because they say, well, you know, you have all these followers. It's about perception and a big chest and chest thumping. C is for Chief Karaoke. We love what he's been able to do.
Phenomenal,
right?
phenomenal.
Amazing
exceptional.
And I mean, he's on Twitter, but his people in Lanette get it on text.
Right. And for all they know, they might not even know a concept of the internet or of technology. So he's encouraging to us because you don't have to buy in to I have the email, I logged on, but the power of social media to connect us as communities of people who have mobile devices or better, right? It could be a simple thing that has a flashlight, can text and call, down to the iPhone 6s and all the Android devices of this world.
Right.
So what we said is, let's actually make ABCs all the way to Z. Z is for zero chills, right? Which, as we talked about, is a frame of mind that Kenyans, particularly those on Twitter, but certainly everywhere,
Zero chills.
Lose all social decorum. They can get aggressive. They can actually get snarky and attack you.
Yeah.
Cyberbullying would fall into that category. And so you have all of these things. Someone Tell being one of the most famous ones. We have a
Tell
history.
us about the big one. Someone Tell.
So if you go back, you have CNN, great news organization, and Kenyans being very sore after seeing 2007, 2008, and how Kenya was perceived to the world. So they were watching from their TV set saying, I live here, and of course everything that happened, and it was terribly unfortunate about what happened to us as a nation. However, when Kenyans, particularly those with technology, look to the internet, and Western journalists, they hold them to a very high standard as far as their facts and how they put the perception of the country at risk of a story. So in this case, CNN actually chose to report about a grenade attack that had happened at one of the bus terminuses here. And instead of showing Kenyans as victims of terror, they skewed it. It was one of their local correspondents, the bureau chief at the time, who skewed it to almost make it look as though Kenyans were turning to them on themselves. And Kenyans on Twitter would not have it. And they got an actual apology at the time, and subsequently, CNN has actually gone on in the 2013 elections to make another similar gaffe. And these two specific times, that global organization has looked, because lo and behold, these Kenyans on Twitter, these 1 million monthly active users, or 2.8 million, depending on who you ask, they can rally around a topic. And they did this as far back as 2010 and consistently. So when the country's nationhood in some way is threatened, you could be a pastor in Dallas, you could be a televangelist sitting in the US. If you say something out of turn that is misinformed about Kenyans, they'll rally behind this hashtag Someone Tell and put your name at the end of it. And it doesn't matter if you're a country either. Someone Tell Tanzania, Someone Tell Botswana, Someone Tell Nigeria. When the Nigerians made the Harambee Stars train on a football field with no grass, Kenyans noticed this thanks to one journalist who was reporting and said, this is absurd. And Kenyans just found any Nigerian they could find. And what you had was tens and hundreds of thousands of tweets insulting Nigerians who had no idea what was happening, but said, why are these Kenyans insulted?
How dare they?
And now it became a full-on African war. So we're combative, but only when it comes to defending some kind of national pride.
Gentlemen, I want to talk about that after the break. I mean, what makes us so outspoken? Because we are one of the highest tweeting or highest internet savvy nations on the planet, right?
Certainly. Top three in Africa.
In Africa. Top three in Africa.
According to the last research. But
excellent. Guys, I'm looking at the trends right now. Lupita is home.
Lupita's home.
Lost in liquor.
Lost in liquor.
A few others. What's our hashtag?
Xtian Dela on JKL.
Okay, let's do that. Let's start. Keep tweeting. Xtian Dela
on JKL.
On JKL. Wow. I'm going to use you for my... So let's talk about that. Let's talk about Macmende.
Yes,
that was the other big thing.
That's right.
Right? And man, who are your followers, man?
Kenyans, young guys, ages between 18 to 35. These are the working class.
Can you direct that traffic my way?
Sure. But you old, bro. You
Oh! At M Kaigua, at Xtian Dela, at Koinange Jeff. The hashtag is.
I'm still laughing at you. Xtian Dela on JKL.
My goodness. These guys, these are the gurus. They own the space. If you want to get on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, this is the show to watch. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend who knows a friend. Do that as we take a break. JKL takes a break.